Good morning, my dear students. This is Neeraj Kumar, your English teacher. Today I am here to continue chapter number 6, Weathering the Storm in Arsama. I hope you will be listening to me very carefully. So, here I continue. For the first time in 4 days, these survivors at the cyclone shelter were able to fill their bellies. His next task was to organize a team of youth volunteers to clean the shelter of filth, urine, vomit, and floating carcasses, and to tend to the wounds and fractures of the many who had been injured. So it has been 4 days. On the fourth day, means there had been victims, there had been survivors, and taking shelter somewhere, and on that very day they were able to eat something, get something. That means they filled their bellies. After that, the next task of Prashant, it was to organize a team of youth volunteers. They cleaned the shelter, wherever dust and mud and filthy places, urine, vomit, floating carcasses, and even they taken care who got the fractures, who got the injuries, right? So this was being done by the team of Prashant. They were taking care of the victims, they were taking care of their wounds, injuries. Now let us move ahead. On the fifth day, a military helicopter flew over the shelter and dropped some food parcels. It then did not return. The youth task force gathered empty utensils from the shelter. So, my dear students, it was fifth day when there was a helicopter that was flying over the shelter and dropped some food parcels, and after that it did not come back there for taking care of the victims. Prashant and his team realized that they must do something. So the youth task gathered the empty utensils from the shelter. Means somehow the team collected and gathered some kind of pots from the shelter. Alright, now let us move ahead. Then they deputed the children to lie in the sand left by the voters around the shelter with these utensils on their stomachs to communicate to the passing helicopters that they were hungry. The message got through, and after that the helicopter made regular rounds of the shelter, airdropping food and other basic needs. So what was done finally there? Prashant and his team deputed the children to lie in the sand. Alright, and just having utensils on their stomachs in order to communicate with the helicopters. Means people sitting in helicopter, they can easily see that there had been victims lying on the sand. Alright. The message got through. Means as the helicopters keep flying from over the shelter, and somehow they have come to know that there had been problems and children lying on the sand and they need something. So the helicopter made regular rounds of the shelter. After that, means helicopters kept on taking rounds around the shelter, and they dropped food and other basic needs. Now let us continue. As the weeks passed, Prashant was quick to recognize that the women and children were sinking deeper and deeper in their grief. He persuaded the women to start working in the food for work program started by an NGO. And for the children, he organized sports events. He himself loved to play cricket, and so he organized cricket matches for the children. So, my dear students, now let us know what happens in this paragraph. As the weeks kept on passing, Prashant was very much quick to recognize, means somehow he came to know that the women and the children were sinking deeper and deeper, means they were becoming distraught more and more. They were becoming more and more distraught, distressed because of that super cyclone. So somehow he convinced the woman to start working in the food for work program. Means he got the women engaged for the food program, and that was started by an NGO. And what did he do for the children? He organized a sports event. Although he himself loved to play cricket, so he organized cricket matches for them. Now let us move ahead. Prashant engaged with other volunteers in helping the widows and children to pick up the broken pieces of their lives. The initial government plan was to set up institutions for orphan and widows. However, this step was successfully resisted, as it was felt that in such institutions children would grow up without love and widows would suffer from stigma and loneliness. So now let us know what happens in this paragraph. As Prashant was quite busy with other volunteers, as he was putting all efforts just to give the peace to the women and the children, and as far as the government was concerned, the initial government plan was to set up institutions for orphans and widows. Government was thinking just to open up some institutions for the children and the widows. However, this step was successfully resisted, but there had been some people who resisted, who opposed this step, as it was felt that in such institutions children would grow up without love and widows would suffer stigma and loneliness. Because it was felt that in such institutions certainly there would have been problems with the children and widows. Children would be brought up there. Children would be nurtured there without love and care. And widows would suffer from stigma and loneliness. Alright, now let us move ahead, my dear students. Prashant's group believed orphans should be resettled in their own community itself, possibly in new foster families made up of childless widows and children without adult care. Finally, it was decided that orphans should be sent to the women who lost their children. I repeat, the orphans should be sent to those women, those who have lost their children. This was how children would be nurtured very peacefully, being very carefully. All right, now let us continue. It is 6 months after the devastation of the super cyclone. This time, Prashant's wounded spirit has healed simply because he had no time to bother about his own pain. Now, it had been 6 months now after the devastation of super cyclone. Somehow, the wounds of Prashant were getting healed because he never found time for thinking about his wounds or getting disturbed related that horrendous experience. He did not have time to think of that horrendous experience. His handsome, youthful face is what the widows and orphan children of his village seek out most in their darkest of our grief. What made him happy? Actually, whatever he did, whatever he performed for the orphans and the widows, that was the thing that was making him happy, and I should say delighted. And this was enough. This was enough to take him out from that grief, from that pain. So, my dear students, here the chapter ends. I hope you must have understood. Thank you very much.